Is EWTN Radio.
This is an EWTN News Link. I'm Anna Mitchell from the Sunrise Morning Show. House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he will not follow President Trump's advice for congressional Republicans to be, quote, flexible on the Hyde Amendment, a provision which prohibits taxpayer funding of abortion. When asked by NBC News about the president's comments earlier this week, he said, quote, I'm just not going to allow that to happen, end quote. Meanwhile, the Senate is set to vote today on a resolution that would block the president from taking further action in Venezuela without congressional approval. The War Powers resolution is sponsored by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine, California Democrat Adam Schiff, and Kentucky Republican Rand Paul. The measure needs a simple majority to pass, but could be vetoed by the president. For more news with a Catholic perspective, visit EWTNnews.com. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Well, hello there and welcome. It is time for Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. Good to have you along. I am Jerry Usher coming to you from Pope St. John the 23rd National Seminary near Boston. It's in Weston, Massachusetts, along with Debbie Georgiani on this Thursday broadcast. We are live today and we have a topic that we know you're going to want to participate in. Hey, Deb.
Hello, Jerry. How are you today? You're doing good?
Yeah,
Happy
doing
New
well,
Year.
yeah. Thank you. Same to you.
Good. Are you still on break or are you back in class yet?
We are back in class now, yeah.
You're back in class. Wow. And it's snowing there, right?
It snowed yesterday, yeah. We've got it all pretty much taken care of now. It's looking beautiful, nice and white all around the place. And, of course, here in this part of the country, they know how to handle snowfall quite well, so usually no road closures or anything like that. So
Right. You'll have to make some snow angels for us. So definitely. Well, here is the topic today and the question that we're putting out to the Take Two family. We are live today, so we do have Matt ready to go on the phones. We'd love to hear from you. Here's the question. Who is someone who has never let you down? Now, of course, we would say Jesus and Mary and the angels and the saints, but somebody that you're, you're in close, you have a close relationship with, like a family member, a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, a fellow parishioner, a priest. Okay, who is someone who? Can you name someone who has never let you down? This is a very important question. You'll see, because we are going to weave this right into our spiritual lives. But we need you to weigh in on this. So think about it for just a minute, and then fill up all of those phone lines. Okay, here's the number: 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986.
Well, we know you have someone in your life, at least one person. Maybe you have more than one person. That would be fantastic. We are so blessed to have people in our lives who are there for us when we need them. And we're asking you today, who is that person for you? Who has been that person, that rock, that steady, solid person that you have been able to turn to maybe in a time of need, or maybe they anticipated something that you needed and they were there for you. Anytime that you needed an encouraging word and assistance with something, who is that person that has never let you down? And unfortunately in life, sometimes even our friends and family will let us down. Maybe it's unintentional sometimes, but we're asking you today, is there someone in your life who has never, ever let you down? Really want to give them a shout out today on live global radio, 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
And like we said, Matt is on the phones. We have Michael, our producer, at the controls, and Rich is on social media. Jerry, please wave to all the chats that are going strong. And don't forget to subscribe and to like us and to follow us every which way you can on social media. Please do that. It's so important to keep the family growing. So the question is, who is that special person that has never let you down? But remember, we're Take Two. And how do we roll here on the family, right? How do we do that? Well, we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything in between too. Okay. And so we want you to also weigh in if maybe you have a lot of people in your life and they have really severely disappointed you. They have let you down in many ways. Let's talk about that as well. Maybe it's the people you choose. Maybe it's maybe God's trying to show you something or teach you something. There's so many ways to look at this, but we got to get excited about this adventure called life. So you got to help us. Stop what you're doing, pull over safely to the side of the road, put that baby down gently in the carrier, and make this phone call. 833-288 EWTN 833-288-3986.
Well, I was going to say for me, actually, you said, we want to kind of not mention Jesus and Mary and Joseph and so forth. But I was going to say St. Anthony has never, ever let me down. So that as far as a saint goes, yeah, I figured that for you. But actually, recently, I've had several people in my life who have never let me down. But the last couple of years, there's one of my seminarian brothers here is just amazing. Anytime I've needed anything, a ride to the airport, he was the one who actually took me to the emergency room when I had my back problems last year, and I needed to go. I had the infection in my lower spine, and I probably wouldn't have gone myself. So he took me to the hospital, to the ER, and then I had the surgery. And he's given me books. He's a year ahead of me in the seminary, so he's had the same classes I've had. So his name is Max, and I just really want to give him a shout out because he has really been someone who has never let me or really any of the other guys down here at the seminary either. So that's an example from my life. What about you?
I just put Max in the prayer book. I brought the prayer book out. I love that. I have been very blessed with a lot of family, friends, and coworkers, those in the vineyard that have really been wonderful and great support system for me. And so I've been very consistent and just wonderful to be around and work with. And that includes you, Jerry. Absolutely. And yeah, I think we're very blessed. People have said this to me. When I go and travel, even virtually, when I do pledge drives, people have said to me all the time, "You work with two of the greatest co-hosts," and I said, "Yes, I do, Jerry Usher and Adam Bly. I really do. You guys are both fantastic, such wonderful, courteous, kind. You love the Lord, obviously. You're great in ministry and very professional, and you introduced me to Adam. So thank you, Jerry. That worked out well. And so I'm very blessed, and our show team. They're so consistent. They never let us down. EWTN never lets us down. The affiliates are fantastic. So it's just wonderful. It just spreads. But I would actually say for a person that comes to mind very quickly, of course, my husband, Marty. But, I'm married to him. So you expect your spouse, right, to always be there and be a consistent rock. My mother, my mother who went home to meet the Lord 4 years ago, Connie, you know her very well, Jerry. She always said, Jerry's a nice fella. And Connie, my mom really never let me down. She was the most amazing mom. She was always there in my corner and always there supporting me and everything I was doing. And I'm just so grateful for her love and affection. And so I put her in the book. So you put Max, I put Connie. Beautiful.
Well, Take Two Family is now your ball to pick up and run with here. Who is the person who has never let you down? Shine a big spotlight on someone in your life, family, friend, coworker, neighbor, workout partner, mail delivery person. Who is someone who has never let you down? We want to really honor these people today, and you have the opportunity to do that right now at 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Just give it a quick moment's thought. Shouldn't have to think too long about this. Who is someone who has never let you down? 833-288-3986.
This is Abigail Galvan from EWTN Pro-Life Weekly.
This is Colin Flynn from EWTN News Nightly.
The most trusted Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
Join Archbishop Jose Gomez in sharing the good news.
The baptism of the Lord. It is obviously a celebration of the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan, but it is also a day of celebration of our identity and responsibility as Christians. Baptism, and it is a moment of personal destiny for each one of us. A day when our life story is joined to the history of salvation. the great story of God's love for his people. God has put his Spirit in us. He has made us to be his servants. God is calling us, each in our own way, to believe in Jesus Christ and follow him, to live just like Jesus lived, to live as sons and daughters of God, to live by his law of love.
Visit lacatholics.org to find ways to connect with our faith community in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles.
Deepen your understanding of the Eucharist and see the Mass and Eucharistic adoration in a whole new way. Sign up for the free EWTN Learn series at EWTN.com/Eucharistic Devotion today.
We're asking the question today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Who is someone who has never let you down? Or maybe, they came close to never letting you down, right? They're just, they're pretty consistent. They're steady. They're dependable. They may make a few little mistakes and stumble a bit, but for the most part, they're really there for you. Can you really share why and the details and how you feel about it, the gratitude in your heart, and the character of this particular person? What makes them so dependable? What makes them your rock, the person you can lean on, the person you can call at 24/7. You can call them and they will be there for you. Could you please weigh in on this? We really do need your experience on this and what you can share with the world. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. We have an open phone line just for you. And Jerry, I know it's so important that we highlight various products and things that can really help people along their spiritual journey. And so Learning Contentment, Finding Peace Right Where You Are by Marcus Grodi. I love this, Learning Contentment. And it's in this deeply reflective yet practical book, Marcus Grodi offers spiritual wisdom and down-to-earth guidance for anchoring your soul in God's peace and purpose. You'll discover the real stairway to heaven, an ascent not of ambition, but rather of surrender, gratitude, and love. You'll learn the 3-letter secret to authentic happiness, as well as Marcus's invaluable guide to using technology prudently. And so there's so many other things you'll learn from this practical book. 8 ways to nurture joy and contentment in marriage and family life. Oh boy, do we need that. 5 keys to simplifying your life and growing in virtue and interior peace. Oh, and there's so much more. He goes into the Beatitudes and lessons from the saints. Guys, you got to pick up this book, Learning Contentment, Finding Peace Right Where You Are by Marcus Grodi. It's available right now at EWTNRC.com.
Very good. Everything from Marcus is outstanding, so I certainly echo Debbie's encouragement there to get a hold of that. And we certainly want you to get a hold of us on the program today. You are the ones who make the show what it is each and every day. And as we say, when you call and share your insights, your wisdom, your lived experience, especially your lived experience, that is what can help other people. There may be people listening right now who are saying, I've never had anyone in my life who's been dependable that I could turn to and who's never let me down. So you could really encourage and inspire them to have hope that maybe there is that type of person. Maybe it was a really dark period in your life that you went through. Maybe it was you had some financial needs. Maybe it was someone who looked after your family or your kids or your grandkids or something. We're just asking you today on the program, who is someone who has never let you down? And there's got to be someone in your life that you can point to at 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
Or come close to never letting you down. Because I think never is a really extreme word, right? It sets somebody up for just, remember you and I, when we first started doing pledge drives, we were doing a pledge drive in California, and the station manager there said, if you expect me, he basically,
I will disappoint you.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
right.
I will disappoint you, but Jesus never will.
That's exactly right. That's how he said it. Thank you for reminding me. But I always remembered that when he said that and he walked into the room, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And it's very revealing and it's very true. And I just think that that's important. We can't hold people up to these high expectations. And when they fall, we are so brutally wounded. What do you say about that before we go to the phones?
Well, I think you're right. We definitely don't want to put people, deify people, if we can put it that way, put them kind of on a par on the same level as, say, our Lord or our Blessed Mother or something like that. But I think it's important, too, that like you said, as we're having a conversation about this, maybe almost never let us down is probably the better way to look at it, just because, everybody is human. We're all frail. We're all weak. But I think a lot of people rise to the occasion. There are definitely those people, Debbie, in certain people's lives who have a pretty good batting average when it comes to helping out when they were turned to.
That's so true. So please jump in on the conversation if you want to highlight that very special person in your life who has always been there for you. 833-288-EWTN. Again, there's an open phone line. Hurry. If you feel the prompting of the Spirit, that means we believe that you need to say yes. Lean into the Spirit and call in, because what you have to say matters. 833-288-3986. And Jerry, our first caller to start this conversation today on Take Two is Joseph, a first-time caller, I believe, from Lafayette, Louisiana on Christ Our King Radio. Hi, Joseph. Welcome.
Hi. How you doing?
We're doing well. Happy
Joseph.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. So I was calling the person that's always been there for me in life is my mama. And she's always been consistent. She's always brought us to church, but I never really knew she had a deep, profound faith. And so I would kind of question her on a lot of things. Well, I got accepted to seminary, and so we were at the Easter Vigil whenever they pray the Psalm. And I looked over to my mama, and she was reciting all the Psalms to herself. And she knew them by heart. And it was just blown away. And then I talked to my mama after. I was like, Mama, how do you know all the Psalms? And she said when she was a kid, she remembered them all because she didn't have a lot of friends, and she would get scared. So she would remember all the Psalms. And it's like that moment I knew, like, that faith right there that she had that felt hidden was the reason why I'm in seminary. Like, she was always consistent for me. And I will say, like, Mama, she and my dad got into a bad accident, and Daddy died, and Mama broke her back. She broke every rib except two. She broke her arm in 5 spots. And, like, somehow or another, that woman is a walking miracle. And God bless her in my life still today. And she's such a blessing to me. And she's so consistent for me. And I'll never be able to thank God enough for her.
Wow. So, Joseph, just to clarify, you're a seminarian right now?
Yes, I'm in my propedeutic year. It took a long time to get here, but
Okay.
33 years old, and I'm finally entered.
Well, don't worry, Joseph. I'm 64, and I've been back in priestly formation for the last 2.5 years myself. So our motto here at Pope St. John the 23rd National Seminary is never too late. But I just wanted to comment a couple things about and I love the way, you and others in your part of the country say, my mama, it's just so endearing. I love it when you say that. And, you were talking about her memorizing the Psalms, it was unfortunate maybe that she had to do it because she had no friends, but still it's a great accomplishment to do that. And it just reminds me of, the people of the Old Testament, before all the Psalms and the books were all written down, they would memorize them, and the Jewish children were taught the Psalms as they were growing up. And I just think it's an absolutely beautiful thing. And the beautiful thing about the Psalms is there's a psalm for everything that we're going through in life. And so you must, and to hear how your mama has recovered from that accident, we're so sorry about the loss of your father, but what an amazing woman it sounds like, Debbie.
Oh, amazing. Joseph, I brought the prayer book out. I don't know if you heard that at the beginning of the show. We put you in the book. So prayers for you on this journey into the priesthood. God bless you on that. And then can you give us your mom's first name if you feel comfortable? And of course your dad. We pray for the whole Take Two family, living and deceased.
Thank you so much. So my mama's name is Debbie, and my daddy's name is Joseph.
Oh, nice. Are you a junior?
I am, yeah. Daddy wanted to name me Jesus, but my mama said no. So here we are.
Wow, that is so cool. One other thing I just wanted to say, Jerry, you were talking about into the seminary. I was just chuckling when Jerry was sharing his age and everything. I'm thinking, Jerry just took the scenic route. That's what you did, Jerry. You right? You just took the long road in, but that's actually really good sometimes because you can bring a lot of life experience into the vocation. So, Joseph, what would you say to other young men that are discerning a vocation? What would you say? I mean, tell us a little bit more about how it has turned out so far for you.
So I ran away for a long time. Like, I heard the Lord's voice calling, and I just ran away. It wasn't what I wanted. And finally, like, the Lord just hit me in the face with, like, you're going to do this. You're going to serve. And I couldn't deny it anymore. But, like, I guess the big thing is like, I would say just whenever you know that the Lord's calling, the only place to really see if he's calling you to be a priest is go to seminary. That's where proper discernment is. And my first 4 months in seminary, it's been such a beautiful moment where, like, I'm clay. And the Lord is just molding me. So the more I fight back, the less the Lord can mold me to what my true potential is. But, like, it's just been such a rewarding experience to be there. And I just want to tell anybody who's thinking about it, like, just go and see. Come and see. And that's what the Lord wants. And that's the courage that he wants. Even if it's not for you, like, you're going to come out of there as a better man to where you can spread your Catholic faith as a man in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen any man who, when he said yes to entering priestly formation to discern it, I've never seen any man who was ordained the following day. You don't have to worry about that, guys. Right. It's a process. It's a discernment. You discern it, and the church also does discernment as well. And a lot of, like you said, Joseph, a lot of fine men have gone on to be husbands, fathers, maybe remain single, but made great contributions to the life of the church. Because they spent that time in priestly formation. So you have our prayers, Joseph. I will appreciate yours if you pray for me. I'll pray for you every day as well, and maybe we'll meet up at the altar someday.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
God
Joseph.
Bless you.
God bless you. Happy
Thank
New
y'all
Year.
so much.
Yes, God bless.
As to you.
Thank you. Call us again for sure. Speaking about ordinations and things of that nature, I just found out this morning, Jerry, that remember I shared on the show a while back that our dear friend, and you know him quite well, Monsignor Peter Bowie, who just became the auxiliary bishop of Phoenix. His ordination is in February, and Marty and I were invited. It's by invitation only. Yeah. Beautiful. So make sure I get an invite for your ordination, okay?
I'll consider it.
Okay.
I'll think. I mean, it's I've got to be very selective about who I invite.
So I was just so excited. Huh? I'm sorry.
I have to get there first. You will. I'm halfway through my formation with the Diocese of Orlando. Already, I believe it or not, I've got the rest of this year and 2 more years, but. Actually,
it's going to go fast.
We preface everything by saying, God willing, I've got about 15 months, actually, God willing, to maybe my diaconate ordination. So,
wow.
Another year, another 13 months after that would be priesthood. So I appreciate everybody's prayers. Definitely.
Absolutely. The prayers are constant with the Take Two family. They pretty much ask me every single week, how much closer is that? I said, it's going to be there before you know it. But it's so exciting. I don't think I've ever been to when a bishop is installed. That do you call it or it's installation, not an ordination?
Well, I think it's an ordination.
Ordination of the
to the episcopacy.
That's right. That's right. But I've never been. We really need to have him back on Take Two, because his story, his family story is amazing, and he's only the second bishop of the second auxiliary bishop of the Diocese of Phoenix. And I just found out yesterday that the Diocese of Phoenix apparently is the second largest diocese in the country.
Wow. Oh, yeah. That's significant.
I know. Over 2 million Catholics. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a little trivia for everybody if you're interested. It's so cool. But Jerry, let's say hi to Jim. Jim's in Toledo, Ohio on Annunciation Radio. Hey, Jim, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, go right ahead.
I wanted to send out a thank you to my friend that, we went to grade school together, graduated high school about a year apart, and she went to be a sister of St. Agnes, has over probably 55 years. But every time that I've had issues, like I've had 2 daughters with heart problems, my wife had heart issues, my dad had Alzheimer's, and my mom had cancer. Every time I asked her to pray, she was there for me.
Mm. Wow, that is, you know what, that's a great reminder to all of us, Jim. I have, Debbie, you do, I'm sure you do as well, but I have a lot of dear friends who are priests and, of course, religious sisters. I always mention my dear friend, Sister Maria Letizia, who's the cloistered Poor Clare sister in Kokomo, Indiana. And she can only write at Christmas and Easter. She can get letters all the time, so I write to her about monthly. But I know she's always there for me and for everyone who asks her for prayer. So, Deb, this is just a great reminder that not just materially or physically tangible things, but also on the spiritual level, there are people who are always there for us.
Absolutely. And I put everybody in the prayer book, Jim. Jim, again, it's so beautiful when the Take Two family calls up and honors the people that have meant the most to them in their lives and in their spiritual walk. And it's encouraging. It keeps people motivated in that direction to really see what's around them and who is around them that is going to help them and shepherd them to grow closer to the Lord. Can you give us her first name, Jim? Do you feel comfortable?
Oh, yes. It's Sister Monica.
Monica. Okay.
And if I could, would you pray for a novice nun that is a friend of my family? She's just started into the convent, and her name is Lydia.
Lydia. Got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She sent me a beautiful Christmas card with a joke from the nuns. And it was, "What is the favorite hymn of Dennis?"
Of Dennis? What is it?
"Crown him with many crowns."
Oh, that's a good one.
Jim, that's good. You didn't even have to wait for our next Best Clean Joke show. Thank you so much, Jim. We got to run here to a break.
Yeah.
Who is someone who's never let you down? Take Two Family, 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Back with more of your calls in a minute.
On the next Beacon of Truth, reflections on the Mass and Soulful Psalm 72.
I'm Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, and I invite you to join me for Beacon of Truth.
After a fight with my wife, I was complaining to God. Why does it always have to be about her? Can't it be about me? And God spoke to me, not audibly, but in my heart, and with words I'll never forget. He said, "You have every right to make it all about you, to put your own needs first. You have every right to be average, to be ordinary, and not to become a saint." Suffice it to say, I retracted my prayer. And in retrospect, I think God wasn't only calling me to holiness, but to happiness. The days I wake up and say, my wife is lacking these 5 traits of a perfect spouse, I should tell her. Those aren't my best days. The days I wake up and ask myself how I can make her the happiest wife on earth, I end up being the happiest husband. Go figure. Jesus said, whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com on EWTN Radio.
Helping build strong Catholic families.
This is EWTN Radio. The most original Catholic content is on EWTN Radio.
Hey, this is Michael O'Neill, the Miracle Hunter. On this week's show, Yelena Popovich joins us to talk about the new film Moses the Black. Also, Father Lawrence Carney joins to talk about the Holy Face of Jesus.
The Miracle Hunter with Michael O'Neill. Saturday afternoon, 1 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
I'm Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers. Join me for Beacon of Truth today at 4 p.m. Eastern.
On the next Beacon of Truth, reflections on the Mass and Soulful Psalm 72.
Now back to Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie.
We're having a great great conversation today with the Take Two family on who is someone who has never let you down. And we did bring the prayer book out, so if you'd like to give us first names of those people that are so special to you because they've always been your rock, you could lean on them, you could count on them, they're very consistent in your life, they've helped you on your spiritual walk, then please call in 833-288-EWTN. There's an open phone line just for you, 833-288-3986. And Jerry, shout out, congratulations to another EWTN radio partner, Spirit Catholic Radio, serving Nebraska and Wisconsin with 20 stations. Get this, deserves a drum roll, is celebrating 27 years with us this week. Congratulations to Eric Svoboda and his great team at Spirit Catholic Radio from your friends here at EWTN. Now, that deserves a drum roll, pat on the back, round of applause, big cheers. 20 stations, 27 years, Jerry.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's flown by. I remember when Catholic Radio was just, the affiliates were just getting up and running, and Mother Angelica said you can have our programming for free. And Catholic Answers Live, we started out on 4 affiliates, 4 stations. Now EWTN is up to hundreds, 600, 700, something like that. Wow. Praise be God for that. The message is getting spread far and wide. All right, let's go to Joe in Virginia, listening on Guadalupe Radio Network today. We're talking about someone who has never, ever let you down. So let's go to Joe in Virginia, listening on Guadalupe. Hi, Joe. Welcome.
Hi, how are you this afternoon?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Of all the people, now that I think about it, I was going to say my best friend Bill, the one I grew up with, he's passed away. But when you talk about who is most, closest to you or helped you most spiritually, I'd actually have to say my mother, Pearl, who's deceased. My mother always had great faith, and even when I was away from the church for about 7 years, I know she prayed for me, and I came back with my faith stronger than ever. And my mother never let me down. She was always there no matter what. My mother had great faith. And, my father, I think until right before he died, always claimed to be an atheist. If it hadn't been for my mother's great faith, I don't think our family ever would have made it after the divorce and everything. And I think it's my mother's faith that kept the whole family together, and her prayers brought me back to the church.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I can share something similar, Joe, with my mom. We too came from, my parents divorced, and then my mother, she was raising 5 kids by herself. We didn't have a lot of religious education. In fact, my strongest religious influence was my uncle, who was a priest halfway around the world in Thailand. And yeah, I know it was my mother's prayers and her example and her witness. And just one year she gave me a rosary for my birthday, and I decided I better learn how to pray this rosary, and that was really a game changer for me. So Debbie, yeah, I can relate totally to what Joe is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can as well, Joe. Joe, I put Bill down. You said Bill, it was your best friend.
Yeah, also my friend Bill. We went to school together.
Yes.
We grew up together. We met each other. We were like 12 and 13. We went through school together. We were in high school drama together. And even though he wasn't a Catholic, he used to go to Mass with me. And I guess he thought at one time we were going to get married when we were 18. And anyway, he became a Catholic. I became his godmother, his sponsor. I think he thought that we were going to get married, but I left home. I joined the Army, and then he moved away to San Francisco. And but we remained friends until he died of leukemia back in 2012. But I was his best friend. I was his drama partner. We went everywhere together. Then I became his godmother. We still stayed close until he died in 2012. So I wouldn't say he was responsible for my great faith. He would have probably said if he were still alive that, I played a big role in his faith.
Sure.
But whenever I needed somebody, when my brother died or anything happened, I call him. He was the first one, sometimes my only friend, who would just come down within 5 minutes and console my mother. Or he was always there when I needed somebody.
Right. Those people.
Listen, Debbie.
Yes, Joe. Go ahead.
Debbie, about a year ago, I was going to send you a novel that I had done. It's based on the Communion of the Saints.
Right.
And I talked to you about it, and you said, okay, go ahead, send me a copy. And I somehow got the address all messed up. And I'm waiting in the car here for my husband to get finished with the doctors. So I want to send you a copy of my novel. I just got your address. So you're going to be getting a novel, hopefully within a couple of weeks in the mail from me.
Thank you so much, Joe.
It's about the theme is, do you believe in that dogs are people's best friends, and they are. And if you believe in the communion of saints, then this is a story for you. It's called Dog Wash, Can I Help You?
My goodness. Love it.
Yeah, I sent a copy to he's on another Catholic channel, and he was reading it. But I want to send you a copy because I told you a year ago I was going to do that, and I lost the address and I forgot all about it. So
no worries. Thank you. I look forward to it, Joe, and I hope your contact information is in that envelope as well, because I'd love to say thank you properly. So Joe, that is awesome. I can't wait to receive it. Wow. We get gifts while we do the Take Two show. I love this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. Amazing. Okay, so I put Bill in the prayer book and I put Pearl in the prayer book, and Joe did a beautiful job sharing about her best friend and her mother. And yeah, that's so true. Isn't it interesting how we can definitely lean on our parents for the spiritual growth that we receive and what they impart to us just by way of just giving us an understanding and living out the faith. I so agree with that. It's very important we do honor our parents, especially that's God's commands. But okay, let's go to Carolyn. Jerry, does that work for you? Mm-hmm. Harwood, North Dakota on Real Presence Radio. Carolyn, welcome.
Hello.
Hi there.
So I want to shout out to my parents. They've always been some people that I could count on. They were very faithful Catholics. They were very strong pro-life people. And they just were always there for every event in my life. And last year I lost my husband, and I also want to talk about my children. We have 2 children, and they have been my lifeline over this last year.
Yeah. Wow, thanks be to God for that. Yeah, we're so sorry for your loss, Carolyn, and I know Debbie is definitely prepared to put your husband's name in the prayer book if you want to give us his first name at some point. But yeah, this is the last call we were just talking about, parents being there for children, and in this case, Carolyn, our children often have to be there and be the strong rock in our own lives too. So, yeah,
it's so hard.
They truly have been this whole past year. It's just like. Right. Anytime I needed anything, I could call either of them, and it's just been such a blessing. And even my grandchildren have been there for me, too.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're very blessed, Carolyn. I know this is a hard loss with your husband passing, but to have your family support you, it does make the grieving process that much smoother, if you will, because you have that beautiful, loving support from those that are closest to you and can relate to your sadness and loss. Carolyn, Jerry's right. Do you feel comfortable giving us your husband's first name?
Of course. His name was Lowell.
Got it. Okay, and you said your parents as well. So I put the whole family in the book. God knows your entire family and really can hear the emotion that's welling up inside of you, and rightly so. I mean, you sound like you have a lot of love as a mother. You received a lot of love from your parents, and you've passed that on to your kids and your grandkids because it's coming full circle. So way to go, Carolyn. You have to imagine that God is pleased with that. It sounds like your family is functioning very well.
It is, and I'm so thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we're grateful along with you, Carolyn, and definitely you can count on the prayers for Lowell and for all of you, especially for you, Carolyn, as you process this loss in your life. And we will pray that your kids continue to be that strong support for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining us on this program, this conversation today, which we're talking about who has been really a rock, steady, support in your life. Who is someone who has never let you down or almost never let you down, kind of always there when you need them. Well, no matter what the need is, there's just that one person in your life that you can think of right now, and you say, when I need him or when I need her, I can always just pick up the phone, I can text, I can email. They're always there for me, and sometimes they even anticipate what I need, and they're there for me before I even reach out. If there's someone in your life like that, you share that because you've got time to do it still on today's program at 833-288-EWTN, 288-3986.
So you want to hear something really cool for just a moment that you just made me think of this, Jerry. You know, we're talking about people you can lean on, friends and people you meet throughout life and in different seasons of your life. And you know him, and you've heard me talk about him a lot on the radio show. One of my first students when I was a catechist at St. Timothy's in Mesa, Arizona, is my wonderful student and friend, and I feel like he's a baby brother to me, Jacob, right? And Jacob and his family. And I went on to bring on his sister-in-law as my assistant in religious education. And she was pregnant with her first child, first of 4. And while she was working alongside me in ministry work in Gilbert, Arizona, and she went on to have more children. Anyway, long story short, her oldest son, the firstborn, Michael, is now in the seminary in the Diocese of Phoenix.
Awesome.
I know. Isn't this cool? You see, but don't you feel like when you stay in touch, when you feel like you have those people in your life that are consistent, and Jacob has always been there. He was amazing. His whole family has been amazing like that. You know, it continues, and you see the fruits of that. You see the fruits of that in ministry. You see the fruits of that in life. And that's why I always tell people, stay in touch with others. It's very important. Anyway, that's just a side note, but you made me think of it, Jerry, when you were talking about the seminary with our previous caller. But Jerry, Laura is waiting so patiently in Houston, Texas on our friends on Guadalupe Radio Network. Laura, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Go right ahead.
I wanted to talk about my friend Jade. I moved to this area around 7 years ago, and I met her when I got married. My husband said, you know, you're going to really connect with this lady. And she has just been the most phenomenal example to me of a mother, a godly mother, a godly friend, a godly wife. And she's so humble and loving. And there are times when we don't have time to connect. She doesn't have time to connect. I don't. And we could feel like we're letting each other down, but we don't. We just really believe the best in each other. And I just feel that from her, even when times when I've, not been the most faithful friend she has. And I just want to say that I admire her, I respect her, and really love her, and I'm thankful for her.
Wow, that's beautiful. And she's in the book. I put Jade in the book.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Laura, can you tell us who the little one is that wants to be on the radio behind you?
That's George. He's 4 months old.
Did you say his name is George?
George, yes.
I love that name because, my last name is Giorgiani. So I love that. That is so beautiful. Well, he's got a great, strong voice for 4 months old. Wow.
He is. He's very communicative in a happy way. He talks a lot. He even cries with vocalizations that sound like words. I'm like, oh my goodness, this child is going to communicate.
So here's what you need to do. You need to save this broadcast because it's always on, YouTube and stuff. Save it. So when he goes off to school or something and says, Mom, I want to go into communications or I want to be on TV, you can say, well, you had your start many years ago, and you can play that for this episode for him.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, I love
thank you. Thank you for letting me say that about Jade. I'll tell her to listen today if she gets a chance. We always pray together. She's always praying for me. And I just want to say, Jade, I love you so much.
Oh, how sweet. That's beautiful. We all need friends like that in our lives, Laura, and thanks be to God you met Jade, like you said, about 7 years ago, and she's been that steady rock for you. So God bless you. Thanks for taking the time to call in today, Laura, and God bless little George there and your entire family. We really appreciate you being part of the Take Two family, the growing Take Two family,
yeah,
we might add. Thank you, Laura. Yeah.
Is he our youngest member, 4 months old? I think he is.
He might be, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Thanks again, Laura. Appreciate the call. Before we go to Kim in Charlotte, North Carolina, a couple things. I'm going to give the phone number out because there is still time for you to get on the show if you want to give some kudos or props to someone who has always been there for you, never let you down, or almost never. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Please join us. It is your show to take and make it impactful like you do every day. And tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the world over with Raymond Arroyo. It's quite a broadcast tonight, so listen up here. Just a few quick details. Cardinal Gerhard Mueller with his thoughts and observations on this week's consistory of cardinals in Rome. Also, U.S. Congressman Carlos Jimenez of Florida's 28th District on the U.S. incursion into Venezuela and his local Venezuelan constituents' reaction. And someone who's one of my favorites, Gordon Chang, he's going to be talking about China's reaction to the U.S. incursion into Venezuela. And also Dr. Waleed Fares and Cameron Kanasarinia give analysis of the rising unrest in Iran. So this is a show you don't want to miss, folks. The world over with Raymond Arroyo. Always insightful, always hard-hitting, and right on the money. 8 p.m. Eastern Time on EWTN TV and radio. And you can get news from the world over in your email inbox every week. Visit EWTN.com and click on subscribe.
That's going to be, you said it, quite a broadcast. Okay, so I can't wait to tune in. All right, you do have room to pick up a line there real quickly. If you feel like I want to get in there, I want to say something about this person, do it right now. Don't hesitate. This last person after Kim is going to be the one to close this broadcast. So that could be you. So hurry to the phones, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And highlight that person that is your rock, okay? Please call in. There goes the phone lines. Kim in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sirius XM 130 is the way you're listening, Kim. Welcome to Take Two. Happy New Year, Kim.
Hi. Can you hear me
Kim.
okay?
Very well.
Great. I just want to say that I have a friend of about 32 years I met while our husbands were in the military, and he's in the St. Louis area, and for the last 32 years, we have been able to pick up the phone at any time and call one another for prayer, for a cry, for, whatever, or rejoice, anything. And we're just like sisters in the Lord. And it's just so comforting to me to know that I have her. I would cry almost right now thinking that if something ever happened to Erica. She's just a blessing, and she's helped me a lot. And I've helped her with now we're grandmothers, and our grandchildren are all the same ages too. It's just remarkable. Mm-hmm. Our children are the same ages. Although she had all girls, I had all boys, except for my last one. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just feel like God was so good to bring us into friendship, and we're 32 years.
Yeah.
Pray for Erica too, please.
Absolutely, she's in the book. Jerry, what do you have to say?
Well, first of all, I could hear you writing, so I knew you were putting Erica
yeah.
and Kim and all of them in the prayer book.
And the Marines.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there are different circumstances that bring our friends into our lives. It could be, that we go to the same parish. It could be people that we work with. But, Kim, I've seen one of my brothers, Joe, was a career Navy man, and brother-in-law Larry was a career Marine. And, I can see how, those circumstances of being, in the military, the risks that are involved in that, the circumstances around which, spouses, have to kind of maybe be back home. And so you meet these other people, and it just seems like a really special bond to me. I've always really admired the friends that both of my brother and my brother-in-law have had, through their connections in the military service. So you're very, very blessed to have Erica in your life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree, Kim. My family's have a large part of my family's military, and they really lean on the other military families to be true family to them, and that is so important. And when you do that, you share, personal details. You keep, the rhythm going with the families, right? And it's so important to keep that up. And the military does that quite well. So, Kim, you are blessed, and we definitely put Erica in the prayer book, so you could let her know, okay?
Okay, I just wanted to say something. I think I miscommunicated. We're both been out of the Marines for a long time.
Right.
Our husbands are out.
Right.
And we've remained friends.
Right.
Yeah, we got that. Anytime somebody mentions the military, we always put them in the prayer book because we feel like it's another reminder that everybody should support.
I love y'all. I love your show. I love your show.
Thank you. We love you. We love you back. Thank you. We really try to walk the walk and talk the talk. That's what we're trying to do because Jerry and I are too old to do anything else. Right,
Yeah,
right, Jerry? Yeah. Thanks, Kim. God bless you. You put big smiles on our faces. Thank you so much. Jerry, we do have that very last caller that is coming in strong, that felt the prompting of the Spirit to get in there to share something with us. What do you say?
Yeah, it's Kara in Northwest Ohio, a first-time caller listening on Annunciation Radio. Hi, Kara. Welcome.
Oh, I'm so happy. This is the coolest thing ever. When you were saying, we have space for one more call, I'm like, that's me. I've had the dial on my phone here for a minute and looking at it, and the Holy Spirit called me, so here I am.
There you go.
Amen.
That's how the show works, yeah.
Well, here's what I was thinking. I mean, this is profound, just this subject, thinking and actually stopping to think about who is that one person who's never let you down. That's a big deal. That's a big thing. And I don't think about it. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, my gosh, I take this person for granted, just that he's always going to, because he always has been. And how incredible, how blessed am I, how blessed are we that we have somebody that we can call and that they will always be there and that they don't let us down. That's a big thing. That's huge. And that person is Deacon Charlie McDaniel, St. Rose Parish, Perrysburg. He's everything. He's so special. Oh.
Wow.
And he's a part of, he does so much, he's so much to so many people. He's in charge of the grief consolation ministry. He does the OCIA. He does adult faith formation. And I know that he'll drop things for so many people, but he's also my sponsor. And so no matter what, it's like judgment-free, joyful advice. It's just incredible. And I keep saying, I'm always like, Deacon, how do you know? How do you know what to say? You know, how do you even have the best advice ever? And he just never, he's so humble. He's like, the Holy Spirit, not me. And never take credit, ever. But we are so lucky to have him. And I feel like I'm so blessed to have somebody like him, which he will take. No, I'm telling you right now, it will be immediate. And then we'll talk and talk and talk. It's like no rush. How wonderful. And his wife, Maggie McDaniel, she's so wonderful too. So prayers to the both of them.
Well, I was just going to say, Kara, I'm so glad you did, because I was going to say, isn't that Maggie's husband? Okay, so yes. Okay, so first of all, yes, I love Maggie McDaniel. Okay, you guys, everybody needs to know this. The Annunciation Radio in Toledo, Ohio, Deacon Charlie McDaniel and his wife Maggie McDaniel, they are big supporters of Catholic radio and Annunciation Radio, and they go above and beyond to really make sure that Catholic radio is going strong with the travel business that they do, Kara. And
absolutely,
it's so
and they
wonderful.
Invited us to be me and my son to be a part of the Annunciation Radio benefit with Father Mike Schmitz not that long ago. So we just flipped. We're like, I got to meet Father Mike. But no, the both of them are just angels on earth.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Maggie is just a keeper. She's amazing. She's a gem. But it's so nice that you recognize Deacon Charlie, because we always say this. Jerry and I have said this so many times. The deacons don't get thanked enough. They do not, because the deacons are quietly doing their work and their ministry work, and they just keep doing it. And we do.
I don't know how he has the time for all of it, but he does.
I know. It's amazing. But you know what you just did? Right. But what you just did right now, Kara, you just highlighted for the world, for people to be thinking about that as they go to Mass this weekend, that maybe they'll make a beeline to the deacon and just say thank you. What do you say to that, Jer?
Oh, I think that would be a great idea. And you're right. They don't really necessarily get the attention or they do a lot of things that, are behind the scenes, Kara, as you're pointing out. And as you were listing off all of the things that Deacon Charlie does, I was just thinking, wow, you are right. He fills a lot of roles, does a lot for a lot of people, and probably, like you said, doesn't seek any, doesn't want any of the credit for himself. It's always deflected to the Holy Spirit. And that's the way it should be, because really it is the Holy. If we lean into the Holy Spirit and have our reliance upon Him, He is going to put us in those situations where we're going to be impactful in people's lives, and people are going to be blessed by that. So I think it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. You are awesome. Call us again anytime. And please tell Deacon Charlie and Maggie we love them so very much and for all they do for all of us. It's just incredible. You know, Jerry, I have to tell you something. When you hear about and others highlight folks that really go the extra mile and really go the distance for Catholic radio, they're the same heart. Because those of us that listen to Catholic radio, those of us that support Catholic radio, those of us that want to promote Catholic radio, we all seem to be so like-minded. We want to give and really build up the kingdom. What do you say to finish this beautiful episode?
Well, no, when the history of Catholic radio is written, hopefully it will be by somebody someday. There's going to be some eye-opening stories about the sacrifices and the hard work that so many people have gone to make it all possible. And we're really just kind of the beneficiaries of that with this program, following in the footsteps of so many great people. So, Kara, thanks again for the call. Thank you, Take Two family. It has been awesome. Matt was your call screener today, and Michael is our producer. Rich was on social media. And tomorrow on the broadcast, do you arrive late or early? That is our topic. We're going to ask you about that. I like to get to places really early. What about you? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Until then, we want to wish you a most beautiful and blessed day. Thank you, Take Two family. Please say your prayers for us. We'll keep you in our prayers as well each day. God bless.
Another weekend means a stop at Podcast Central.
When you hold someone's fault against them, in a sense, like you are in a place of power. But to forgive, it means like